going on? This is Moon and Gemini in the fourth house, part one. And first, we start with uh, the how the moon is molded in a way. I guess is what I'm saying. Via the mother and early childhood. And so, Cancer's in the fifth house. Moon is in Gemini. Fifth house is are the themes that this Pisces ascendant interpreted as something as you know uh like they took this on as like the fifth house as their a reference for them to express their emotions. And I say Pisces ascendant because you probably have a Pisces ascendant, depending on which house system you use. Pisces is if it's not the ascendant, it's very close to the ascendant. So I'm just going to assume that. Let's assume that we're using whole house system, and that would put Pisces in the ascendant. And uh, so expression, children. When I say children, I don't just mean you know yourself as a child. I mean that not just other children. I mean that childlike, that child in us all. That there's no end to it. Just the world is our background. You know what I mean? That's what I mean when I say child. That inner part of us. Uh, you know, fun. Like I said, self-expression, um, academia, like something that you will like go and study after like your formal studies. Like you go to college, you'll get your associates, your bachelors, everything after your formal. Like once you're out on your own and you're a grown up, once you're 18, right there, whatever you're somehow into, like you're drawn to intellectually, is the fifth house. Whether it's like a actual, whether it's going to college or I don't know, like a could be like a trade or something like that. Something that where you're creative, where your genius level intelligence is drawn to. So um, these are the themes. It's the house of like when you go to act. This is the house of the stage, and the actor. I mean the stage, the actor, and the audience. We're always playing one of those, but this is that house. So earlier in life and with your mother, somehow like these were the themes that um, Pisces interpreted as a means to think, have a thought process, and express your emotions. And they interpreted, okay, these are the means. Okay, now what the hell? What for? What is the whole point of it? What do I do with this? Well, how do I interpret it? That's the house, fourth house. They interpreted self-expression as a means of peace, as a means to connect with that most inner part of us, the most private part of us, as a means to feel comfortable at home. That's the the fourth house. Moon in Gemini is in the fourth house. That's how this Pisces ascendant perceived life, perceived, its environment. Ascendant, it's your perception. So, um, like you have from an early age, your mother or motherly figures, or just generally speaking, in your childhood, it was a lot of different, you know, uh, modes of self-expression around you. Like that was a thing that stood out to you from your mother, and from early childhood when you were developing. And that to you was like, oh, you observing these things, you're seeing that, oh, that they use that for. So in life, what is it about? Self-expression is about, expressing your thoughts and your feelings, so you can feel peaceful, so you can feel like your mind has something to sit on, like a chair to sit on, a peaceful place, your equilibrium. That's how these people interpret it. And they saw, also people that weren't able to do this, it somehow affected, their psychological foundation. Their emotional security just wasn't there. So the Pisces ascendant, this is how they're putting things. This is how the moon is molded. You see what I'm saying? This is how it's molded. Oh, fun equals, or lack thereof equals, being able to sleep at night. If I'm not able to express my childlike self, my creative intelligence, my genius level talent, if I'm not able to express that child in myself, then I don't feel good inside. This was early thing. This was instilled in you. You pick this up from your mother or motherly figures, or somewhere in your environment. Like I said, it was a constant thing. This is how your mind. These are the themes around where your mind, your and your mode of expression is built, is molded from these things. They're derived from these things. Okay. And then the thought process. The thought process, like I said, it starts with something related to the fifth house. When you get up here like this and this thing start running, you in your mind, or you in your feelings, you know how we say you in your feelings. It has to do with something from the fifth house. Self-expression, fun, your hobbies, something with your, like I said, your studies, something, where you, and the fifth house is also your romantic partners, like what you're attracted to, who you're attracted, like what kind of people are you attracted to, and how you attract people. Remember, this is a attention house. This is the stage. When you on stage, you got to get attention. You got to attract. So, like I said, you playing one of those all the time, either the actor or the audience. The stage itself is the fifth house, and you're either on one side, you're either the audience or you're the actor. You're on stage. Like, look at me. Look what I'm doing. Or, you know, the things that you pay attention to, the things that you're attracted to. Same. This the sign Cancer are the themes that will be playing out in that. And what I mean by that is, what are Cancer themes? You know, nourishment, like just someone like sensitive and a caring person, and these kind of things. That's how you attract. That's what people are attracted to from you, whether it's a romantic partner or the audience. And that's also what you're attracted to. Whether you're watching something, you want to see how they're emotionally expressing their emotions. How are they caring for their family, or caring for others, or caring for themselves? And all the cancer things. Okay, so that's what it's derived. It starts there. Somewhere, somehow, uh, this came into play. Like I need to. A main thing to remember is self expression. See, right here, you express yourself through your thoughts because Moon rules the fifth house. Moon is your, thought process. This house is self expression. It rules this house. It's the roving delegate. Wherever a house, like a planet that rules a house, wherever it sits, it takes that message to wherever house it's in. See, where a planet is sitting, it tells you the why. The house it rules tells you the what. What is the planet doing there? The house it's sitting in is the why. So, if you're thinking about something, if you're in your feelings about something, it has to do with you expressing yourself. And you need to express yourself. There's an absolute need to express yourself in all the different ways this Gemini moon does. That's why you have a Pisces ascendant more than likely. Or a Pisces is very, very, it's in the first house, because someone who has an active mind, they express themselves through their feelings and emotions, make some of the best painters. They paint, they do poems, they act. That's where the artistic part of the Pisces ascendant comes from. So if you see how I'm put everything together and come up with a sentence, a insightful ass sentence. It's deep. It really is. It really is. That's why the imagination. These people have some of the most active imaginations, because it's fun for them to be in their heads. Fifth house, moon, uh, um, moon rules the fifth house of your self-expression, of fun. So the shit that you come up with in your brain, in your head, right, the thought process, man, you can go anywhere with it. It's being in your head. And the thought process, you know, it usually it ends up in a place inside of us. That's where it ends up. That's the why that I was telling you about. Why is the self-expression? Why is the mind so why the imagination? Why is it there? Right, the why. It's the fourth house. These people need to be able to take their minds, their feelings, and turn it into be expressive in it, and somehow get it out, express it. Um, and I say need because the moon is needs, and it sits in the fourth house of uh, uh, peace. People tend, like, they can't sleep as good at night if they are not letting their imagination, letting that moon, that thought process just go and go and go. They have to do that in order to be at peace, in order to have a psychological foundation. That's what the moon is doing. That's the why. You see what I'm saying? That's the why. I need to be at peace. I need emotional security. So I need to have an active mind. I need to have a active imagination, an active moon, where I can express myself. An active mind, active thought process, and then expression. It's like the moon is in the private place. It's the innermost place. So that's where a lot of expression is gonna come from. You're not gonna these people. You really have to be family to these people. And what I mean by family, I don't literally mean family. Whoever it is you feel like family around. It could be your dogs, your animals. It could be, strangers, whoever, or wherever you go, where you feel like it's family. Uh, that's where you'll see this moon really come out and be expressive. Now there are exceptions. You have to look at other things, but I'm just saying like without none of that. Just looking at moon and Gemini in the fourth house. The moon is in a private place. So only like I'm saying, like the expression, like they won't talk to everybody. They won't share their thoughts with everybody. They damn sure ain't sharing their feelings with everybody and expressing their feelings. That's where the Pisces in you know introversion comes through. You see the nature of a Pisces. It's an inner world. They naturally rule the 12th house, the inner world, inside. So you see the introversion nature of why that is, and how the moon in Gemini in the fourth house and a Pisces ascendant connect. There are two legs to the same chair. So, example, I was thinking about, how like these people like everybody leave, like they at home, they're at home, and everybody who's not family or they don't feel comfortable around, like leaves, or they just leave. Now they're comfortable. Now they're at home. That's where this moon will come out. That's when they'll share their thought process. They'll get it out. Sometimes they'll talk to themselves. Whoever's there, like a lot of private conversations happen here, and emotions come out when they are like, boom, doors closed, boom, that. Oh man, I'm good. I'm comfortable now. And then the emotions will come out. Then these people express themselves, express their emotions. So that's expression. Um, and then the house to house. Remember, I said that uh, where a planet sits tells you the why. The house it rules tells you the what. It's telling you what it's doing in that house. So even if it's unless it's in its own house, that's the only way. Like it be doing just that thing. The why and the what are the same. But for most placements, it's not. They're not sitting. The planet is not going to be sitting in its own sign. So it's going to be doing something different. The what? Self-expression. I need to have fun. I need to be a kid. I need to express my creative, my genius level talent. I need hobbies. Romantic partners. You know, uh, you know, uh, uh, just being on stage. Everybody's watching my creative, my genius level talent. Watching my kid inside express myself. That kid in us all. That's the what. That's what the moon is doing. The why is so these people can connect with themselves on the deepest level, on the most inner level. That's the fourth house. Need to have it. That's why. That's the why. So these people they will paint, they will whatever they do, they will dance, um, you know, write, these just crazy stories that you could only imagine. You ever heard that expression? Man, I could only imagine. Not these people. That shit is real for them, and they need that's a need for them. Like they I'm not myself. I'm not it. My mental health is like these people like they really could mess with their mental and emotional worlds. That's the what. I mean, that's the why. Sixth house, oh six, Lord, sixth house. Fourth house is the house of comforts and conveniences. Kind of understand why it's a house of home and nourishment. Those are conveniences. A home is something you need to feel emotionally secure. So those are the whys. Why am I expressing myself? I need to feel at home. I need to feel um, safe. I need to feel emotionally secure. I need to know who I am on the most inner level. These will make for some of the most soulful, whatever avenue they take to express their emotions, some of the most soulful people at what they do. That's a theme for them. Soulful. Or something that just comes from the most deepest inner part from them. Whatever, however their thought process is, whatever they come up with, if they're communicating to you, or whatever their form is, communication. Gemini, moons in Gemini, they need to communicate it, right? The paintings, it comes from the deepest, most inner part of who we are, who this person is. So if like you have this and you suffer with these kind of things, find these avenues. Find a means to do this and get this out. This is why you're doing it. This is what it's for. Just try it. Try it. And then leave comments. I want to know how you felt after you were able to express your mind, your feelings. How did it make you feel on that deepest level that I'm talking about? And so with your peace of mind, as long as you have this avenue, you'll have peace. You'll be at peace in mind. You'll be nice and stable. The mind is nice. I'm good. I got it out. Remember, I'd be saying that like an avenue, like an outlet. I say it in one of the Gemini, Moon and Gemini series that you're gonna hear that over and over and over. So this placement, you have to have an outlet to like sort of release and lose, like let out, release your thoughts and your feelings. Something, some avenue. There's another one. So you need that if as long as you have it, you'll have peace. You'll feel uh, calm, like a calmness, like a you guys get my point. So, but there can be a lot of problems with that. Like it could be some interruption in that, to where you feel like you don't have um, peace. Right? If you don't feel that way, then you probably don't have a place where you can, you know, express your imagination, express the thoughts that you have, the feelings that you have in a creative way. If you don't have that, that's where the peace of mind kind of it suffers. So keep that in mind. Always have that. That is always have that. And then I wanted to house to house thing. Go back and then I'll keep going. Um, Remember, I said the fifth house is a house of romantic partners. And when I say romantic partners, I don't mean nothing committed. I mean like just people you're attracted to, those early stages, one night stands, dating, things like that. It could turn into something serious, but you know that the fifth house is like just romantic part, like your dating life, and so um, Moon is the lord of the house. She comes into the fourth house of comforts, your peace, your dating life, your fun life, your partying life will directly affect your peace. Your romantic partners, whatever's going on, is going to play out directly with you know, feeling grounded, feeling rooted, you know. So I thought I'd touch on it because that was a big one. That's important. And so you know, pros and cons. Um, like I said, these uh, whatever avenue these people find or have to, you know, be self-expressive, be that childlike, be that child, express that child in us. You get the sense whatever they come up with, whatever painting they come up, song, poem, dance, you can feel it. You can feel it, like you can feel that it's coming from the deepest part of them, and that can, that moves people. People just sit and watch that. Remember, I said fifth house. It's the stage. It's stage. People are watching. They are attracted, um, because it's coming from such a deep place in you. That's why you have Pisces people, Pisces ascendant people. Like they just go to other worlds with it, and it's like so soulful what they come up with. Whether they writing a movie, it's a conversation that they're having with somebody. Remember, they got to be somebody close, somebody that feels like they comfortable around and safe around, and feels like family. Some of the most deepest, they can go really deep into you know their deepest self, which attracts people that are the same way, because you have these kind of people. Now they got other people, whoever they're talking to, they go to that. So they can, these people can you know uh, have some of the deepest interactions, and like they whoever they're interacting with, whatever their work is, whatever where they be like, okay, now I'm good, now I'm at peace, now I feel good, I'm okay, my mind's nice and stable. Whatever was the catalyst of that, whether it was writing, dancing, whatever and stuff like that, it touches other people on that deep level like that. So pros and con could be like you don't have, somehow like there you don't have that avenue, you don't have that means um, to express yourself, right? And maybe you don't know how. But Moon to Gemini here, it's diverse. It's a sign of diversity. So if you don't have a means to express that, express yourself, whatever it is that in whatever way, then that could scatter this mind right here. Because Gemini, It's a scattered sign. It's scattered. That's the shadow side of Gemini. Not having not one place. You hear boom, boom, boom. So you all over the place because you don't have a means to express yourself. Perhaps you didn't have your romantic life suffers. You don't feel attractive. You don't feel attractive, or you're not, just you feel like you're not getting attention from people or romantic partners or something like. So don't put too much stock in it. There are other ways. Watch out for that. That's a con. And finally, empowerment. How to make the planet work for you. I don't mean like something you bossing around. That's not what I mean when I say work for you. I mean like um, you can it's like a superpower. You can use it. It's like a superpower. That's what I mean, empowerment, and make it work for you. Um, if there's something in the fifth house that you have an issue with and you can't find, or you just too scared to go towards it, or there's just some interruption there, just understand that there are other ways. There are other things to make up for that. For example, the example I gave you with the romantic partners, or just you just feel like, oh, man, I don't get any attention. I don't know how to get attention, or I'm too attracted to other people, or too something like that. There are other ways. Other ways. You look at the other things fifth house represents. They do the same thing. And you got Moon and Gemini. It can go, you know, it's different ways to express that Moon right there. Gemini can do it in many different ways. So just understand that there are more. You know, it's about you. It's about your peace. If for example, I don't know, the dating life is suffering, or you know, you know, I don't know, it's some hobby or sport that you're doing is not going as well, or some in your schooling, you know, the academia, whatever you're studying that's mentally bother you, something that's mentally bother you. Understand it's ultimately about peace. It's about you. It's about you connecting with your inner self, with your innermost self. Once you understand this, that's the empowerment. That's how you can make it work for you. Simply understanding what's going on.